Open up your MTT, and we're going to do a quiz review for sections 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. Okay, we're going to do the square root of 121, but we're looking for the negative root. So it's going to be the square root of 121 is 11, and the negative root is negative 11. Square root of 25 over 36. We have to rewrite that as the square root of 25 over the square root of 36. The square root of 25, you can use your calculator, is going to be 5, and the square root of 36 is going to be 6. Square root of negative 25. Because the negative is inside the radical, there is no solution. Number 4, we're looking for the positive and the negative root of 16. Well, the square root of 16 is going to be 4, and it's positive and negative 4. Estimate. So we're going to do the square root of 290. When we punch that into the calculator, we get 17.0294. So our estimate would be 17. The cube root of 116, when we punch that into the calculator, we get 4.877. So the estimate for the cube root of 116 is going to be 5. You just round your decimals to the nearest whole number. Now we're going to go in and start identifying the groups that each one of our numbers belongs to. The square root of 3. The first thing we're going to ask is it real? Yes, it's real. Is it rational? No, it's not rational. It's irrational because it doesn't repeat and it doesn't end. 2/7. 2/7, is it real? Yes, it's real. Is it rational? Yes, it's rational. Is it an integer? It's not an integer because it's a fraction that can't be simplified into an integer, so we're done. We don't have to check whole and we don't have to check natural. Remember that we're using our little checkoff sheet over here on the right. So -1.6 repeating. Is it real? Yes, it's real. Because it's a decimal that repeats, it is rational. Now it's not an integer because it's a decimal, so I don't have to check whole and I don't have to check natural once I get a no on integer. All right, let's look at number 10. -6, is it real? Yes, it's real. Is it rational? Yes, it's rational. Is it an integer? Yes, it's an integer. -6, it's a negative number. Is it a whole number? No, whole numbers are all positives. Pi, is it real? Yes, it's real. Is it an irrational number? It's irrational because it doesn't repeat and it doesn't end, so it's irrational. Best example of an irrational number is pi. Let's look at 4. 4, is it real? Yes, it's real. Is it rational? Yes, it's rational. Is it an integer? Yes, it's an integer. Now, 4 is a whole number because it's a positive integer, and it's also a natural number because it's a positive integer and it is larger than 1. All right, now we're going to do some graphing. The first thing that we need to do is change each one of these numbers using our calculator into a decimal. So 3/5 is 0.6. -1 5/8 is -1.625. The negative square root of 8 is going to be -2.82843, and then we have 3.2 repeating. So now we're going to graph those. 0.6 is going to be just a little bit over a half, so we're going to put 0.6 here. -1.625 is going to be a little bit more than -1/2, so we're going to put that one there. And remember that we're using the original, that's right, we're using the original number, so we don't want to put 0.6 there, we want to put 3/5 there. And then we have -2 and 0.824, so that's going to be almost close to -3. So that's negative square root of 8. And then 3.2 repeating is going to be just past 0.2 repeating. So now we can do least to greatest. So for least to greatest, it's negative square root of 8 negative 1 5/8, 3/5, and 3 and decimal 2 repeating. All right, same thing. We're going to go ahead and change these all to decimals. So this is going to be 3.6 repeating. This is going to be 3.1, and the 6 is just repeating. This is going to be 3.87298, and this is going to be 3.4 repeating. We're going to go ahead and graph those. So 3.6 is going to be just a little past right here, so that's going to be 3 2/3. Now we have to get the 3.16 in there, so let's move this one over just a little bit so we can make room for that other one, because it's got to be, that one's even closer to 3. Oh no, sorry, that was in the right spot. So that's going to be 3 2/3. This one is 3.16, so we're going to come down here and put 19/6, 3.87, pretty close to 3.9, so that's going to be the square root of 15, and then 3.4 repeating, 3.4 repeating. So now we can do least to greatest. 19/6, 3.4 repeating, 3 2/3, and the square root of 15. And that's the end of the quiz. Remember, the best way to do the quiz is to press the problem, do it, and then pause it, and then check it.